Hello, Penny here. Today on my garden podcast, what are you having? Oh, I'll have the Greek salad. What are you having? I think I'm going to have the tuna salad with chips. Oh, can I have some of your chips? Honestly, this is what it was like every night. So that's the dog panting, not me. Although, frankly, it's so hot. I'm not going to complain because it's quite rare that we have hot weather like this. And I'm certainly not going to tell you what I'm wearing because it'll get hearts racing. But let's just say it's like 1976 when you spent all your time in your bikini, men included. So yeah, the dog's sort of had enough. Anyway, in the garden today, it's back from holiday time, which you know what that means, don't you? That means a lot of walking around and going, oh, that's grown. Look at that. So that's what we're going to do today. Come with me. Come on, Joey. Come and lie in the shade. He's a bit stupid, to be honest. Now, I know a lot of people would say that about dogs anyway, but he doesn't lie in the shade, which is good for a dog. He lies in the sun. Never mind. So, first stop, right at the end of the garden, we've planted an apple tree. It's this is the gardening knowledge section of the podcast. It doesn't need another apple tree in order to do its thing. It's a kind of self-mating one. What's it called? I can't remember, when they need each other. Anyway, it doesn't need another one, and also we don't have the room for another one. We hope it'll grow quite tall, quite big. Now, last year it gave us one apple. That was fine, first year. This year there are 15 apples on it, and they are all decent sizes already. I am staggered. They are proper, is it Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where she's got to eat half an apple? Or poisoned apple, I can't remember. It's one of those stupid fairy tales where women are passive. Anyway, she eats an apple, falls asleep for 100 years, and that's the kind of apple we've got on this tree. Right good. Oh, sorry, Joey's just... No, you can't hear that. He's having a wee. Anyway, so further down, we've got a little veg box. Just got corn in it. Not just any corn. This is corn for popping. It's an ambitious project, I give you that, in the northwest of England. But nonetheless, the corn looks amazing. So there are 15 corn plants in there. They are all taller than me, which is a really lofty height of 5'1". And they are looking cracking. I want to run through it and get lost. Do you know what I mean? Like in a film. But I can't because there's only 15 of them. But yeah, that's what corn does. It's kind of got these big leaves that are spears that are flopping back, and the corn heads are coming through. And by the looks of them and the experience that we've had with them so far is that they haven't really needed any watering in addition to what rainfall there's been. And so they obviously do really well in hot weather. What's going to happen next, I don't know. The corn heads don't seem to have plumped up in the way that I'd hoped, but oh, hang on a minute, what's this? No, I'm getting mistaken. The top of them is just some sort of fancy thing that you might see on a cereal packet. It looks like a wheat sort of plant, doesn't it? But it's not quite there. But looking a little bit further down, you've got this fantastic corn on the cob character sort of coming through. Not big enough to eat or do anything with, but you can see how they're growing. Oh my word, that's going to be a few more months, I think, before that's ready. Interesting. Right, we'll see if we get good popcorn from that. What's your preference, sweet or salty? Everyone's got one. And then the wildflower meadow of coronavirus hope. What was it called? What do we call it? And this is the wildflower meadow of hope, planted during the first lockdown. All of that's gone to seed now, which is fine. So what we'll do when they're a bit more seedy is just grab the seed heads and rub them between our fingers and thumbs and forefingers. I've been on holiday. I've barely spoken to anyone for a couple of weeks, and I can't actually get my language out, let alone be articulate. So yeah, moving on. Let's move down. The greenhouse is currently 48 degrees inside because we have got a little thermometer in there, and everything is looking gorgeous. The grass is looking okay considering it's a heat wave. we don't do too badly in the northwest for rain, so, moisture. And ultimately, when you come back from a holiday, it's all about pottering, looking at things and going, ooh, hasn't it grown? Oh, look at this. This has come out, hasn't it? And doing all that. But you've also got to do a fair bit of deadheading, mooching about, which is lovely when you've got a hot day on you and you don't want to do too much sweat-inducing activity. That wouldn't work, would it? So we're going to do a bit of deadheading. The Cosmos has really come on, but it's a bugger, isn't it? As previously discussed on the podcast, it requires a hell of a lot of deadheading maintenance in order to keep it flowering. But it does keep flowering through to November, in my experience. So that is a cracking thing to have when it's getting dark and cold and green, like that kind of, not green, that kind of muddy colour that gardens go in the winter, and you look out, as my husband does, and goes, oh, it's all dead. But then he's a bit negative, so we'll just overlook that bit. Right, gosh. It's funny this year, some of the Cosmos has flowered enormously, and some of it has yet to flower. It's a bit weird, isn't it? But then it's a bit like people, isn't it? Late bloomers and all that. Talking of which, we've just been on holiday with our kids, and it's a bit trying at times. Never mind. After night 14 of sitting and deciding what we're going to eat for dinner again. What are you having? Oh, I'll have the Greek salad. What are you having? I think I'm going to have the tuna salad with chips. Oh, can I have some of your chips? Honestly, this is what it was like every night, and I don't want to sound ungrateful, and I'm not ungrateful, but it was funny. By the end of it, you're like, oh, I can't wait to get home. Isn't that lovely though? You go away, and actually a brilliant thing about coming home is, your own bed, your garden. Isn't it nice? Oh, hasn't it come on?